you kidding me? Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. I heard what Trump was saying, but I was like, please, I've heard this all before. It's the back and forth nonsense. But I did think it'd be real hilarious if Trump ended up winning just because it's Trump. And then when Hillary lost, it was just so hilarious. But when it came to Joe Biden versus Trump, I was flabbergasted at the leftists who were like, we're going to vote for Joe Biden. And I was like, Joe Biden was the vice president under Barack Obama. The National Defense Authorization Act, indefinite detention provisions, expansion of the war in the Middle East, expansion of drone strikes, the bombing of civilians, and then saying, oh, but they're military age males, the extrajudicial assassination of American citizens. And I was like, you screamed that George W. Bush was Hitler. And now you've got the vice president of a guy who killed American citizens without charge or trial. I'm voting for Trump because what? He was no new wars. There were more drone strikes as we were pulling troops. I was like, okay, look, Trump's not that bad, right? I was like, I hear all the complaints the left makes about him. I think his attitude, his character was like unbecoming of a presidential office. All of that stuff matters to a lot of people. Decorum does matter. But for me, I'm like, it matters relatively little compared to a booming economy in 2019. I don't blame him for COVID. I don't blame Joe Biden for COVID. But then looking at Joe Biden in the election, and I was like, if that guy gets elected, we'll be right back in Syria. We're gonna have new war. Mark my words, it is gonna get worse. And Donald Trump had some good second-term policy positions. So I said, okay, what do we get? Wow, man. I want to make sure everybody hears this. When you go to the gas pump and you see that little Joe Biden that says, I did that, that's not a joke. Joe Biden shut down Keystone. Joe Biden introduced new regulations on gas. He banned, he put a freeze on oil and gases on federal land. There's a lot he's done. We had that video from Hawley where he goes through all of the policies. And you know why Joe Biden did it? Climate change. Yep. Now, I'm not making a moral statement on climate change. I think pollution and all this stuff is really, really bad. I think there are issues with these massive population centers overpopulating or polluting. But if you are wondering why your gas prices are high, it is because the people who are scared about climate change are enacting policies specifically because of climate change. They are saying they are doing it, and it's causing economic crises. If you're cool with that because you think climate change is bad, well, just admit it. That's fine. I'm not issuing a moral statement. But Joe Biden literally did this because of climate change. And now we've got reports that farms are being paid not to farm. They're being paid to build solar farms instead. Yep. I mean, it's very obvious what they're doing, just not telling people. But that's the reason. If you're a climate change activist, be proud. Those high gas prices mean less people will drive and lower carbon emissions. And if you're a middle American working class person who's struggling to pay your bills, that's why it's happening.
But do you feel like your words will resonate with these people? I mean, this kind of goes back to the conversation you and I were having before the show. I mean, like, if Trump were to run again, are enough people getting it that it actually would make a difference? Because I actually believe that a lot of people on the left are willing to pay $6 a gallon for gas or more if they believe that we don't have Hitler in office again.
Well, I just want to say this. I mean, your former babysitter had faith that she could reach you.
Right.
And it worked, right?
It worked when I was faced with the realization that something that here's the thing. I learned that my feelings were being manipulated by the people that I trusted. I trusted CNN. I thought that they were honest, and I hated people like Donald Trump, and I hated people like Republicans because I thought that they were bad people. I thought they were people that did things like make fun of disabled people, and everyone laughs and cheers. But as it turns out, to me, I say this all the time, and as a gay person, I always say this, like, the left will pretend like they're the people that care about black people and brown people and LGBT people and all this stuff. But the thing is, they're actually lying and manipulating and exploiting all of these people to get them to think the way they want them to think and behave and vote the way that they want them to vote. I will, any day of the week, take the enemy that will look into my eyes and say, I don't like gay people. I just like, I'll never be down with you. I don't like you. Then the person who says, no, I'm your friend. I'm on your side. I'm here to protect you. But they're actually lying to me and manipulating me. And that's what I discovered through that experience.
I want to answer what he's asking. But put a tag in that.